Hello to my beautiful family of light. Thank you for coming to my channel. My name is Claudia, and I am happy to have you here. This is a series of videos that I'm doing. I've been asked, how do you become a healer and a mystic? And so that's what this whole series is all about. We all have our own story in life and our own footsteps we have to take. The path is yours, the journey is yours, and we get helpers along the way. We also have an inner compass, an inner guidance system, and that's where I come in, because at some point along the way I began having experiences in which that became important to me because I hadn't understood it before. So you have to learn how to connect with that. But that's what this is all about. My story begins as a child running away, and with a story of how that comes about. Now, I want you to remember that it is not about the story. Everyone's story is marvelous and unique and full of adventure and mystery and all kinds of wonderful things. It's your story, and everyone is put here to live their life in a way that works best for you, so that you can be the being that you were designed to be. So this is my story. All right, in the very first episode, I'll call it, I guess, chapter 1, I'm out of here. What we've discovered is that the child has run away, right? Things have happened, and that what she does is decide that she did not do anything wrong. She didn't do anything to deserve the punishment that was meted out. And so for her, this came down to the culminating word is justice. Justice is built into her genetic structure. And so even at 3.5, she may not have been able to articulate that. What she did know is she sat bolt upright in bed and said, I didn't do anything to deserve this. And she got up and ran away. So what is justice, right? It's the distinction between what the individual feels is right and wrong. It's a moral principle, it ends up being, right, moral justness. And there's, when you're young, you have no ability to fight authority, to fight the bully. And so she left. All right. In the second chapter, called Foundations Are Set, this is how I learned. Now, this is going to be probably applicable to some of you and to many children, not all. But in this, what we know is that by age 4 and 5, the child is stepped into how they're going to express themselves from there forward, right? Enough stuff has happened to them that they have decided how they're going to avoid conflict, criticism, judgments, anger. You know, children are peacekeepers. Children are here to be expressions of love and joy and happiness. So this is how I learned to be. And I'm stepping back. Children, when they learn to be something other than what they are stepping away from who they were designed to be. And so, but those decisions, what's important about this is that we say the foundations are set, but when you bury something, it's like underneath the cement. It's buried in your heart. You cannot it's very difficult to access. And so what's going to happen later in life is that you're going to have to meet that, whatever is buried. But we do it in order to avoid conflict, in order to, have a smooth life. And mine was anything but that. So I have some stuff that did get buried. In the third segment, or in the next segments, the decisions that I made. And I'm going to use the child, because if you will go back and look at some of my videos, I have very few early childhood memories. There was so much harm inflicted, and this was not, I never felt like I was a victim. It was just hidden from me. I'm pretty sure that the aspect of myself that couldn't cope with what was going on just simply parked itself somewhere else. I don't know how else to put it, right? I've discovered, over time, as time went on, we wonder, well, why in the world did I say that? Or why in the world did I do that? Or somebody says something to you and you realize they're perceiving you differently than you perceive yourself. But what's hidden from you, in fact, there's a book by this name, Feelings That Are Buried Alive Never Die. And I would recommend that to anyone, because that's exactly what happens. They hide from you. Your ego self, the part of you that doesn't want you to experience the pain and anguish, in some cases, the lack of love, the feelings of worthlessness, or lack of worthiness, of being unskilled, and all of there's so many things that you can say, or that people can say about you, that just aren't true. but as children, we believe them. And so it's important to find ways to be happy with yourself, right? Anyhow, this is about the decisions that were made that then I'm going to have to face somewhere down the road. But these, what they're doing that's important is these are driving the child even further away from their true self, from that happy, creative, joyful, free person. And they're just I was drawing more inward, and the expressions that were coming out were really to smooth the waters, to save my own bacon. I guess that's how you can put it. And my love of music is probably what saved me. But basically, during this whole period, from running away to through all of the culminating events, it's not to say the whole life was, fraught with misery. I had a very happy father. There were certain aspects of the childhood that were great. It's that a lot of harm was inflicted on me. I was the runt of the litter. And so, what happens, that poor little guy just barely gets by sometimes, right? Has to find someone to love it up really good. So one of the things that happened to me during that time is I never developed communication skills. I was always afraid, to speak up my mind, because I got into trouble, which means I never learned how to defend myself in a constructive way. So I just became a clam shell. And, you have certain outlets. You go do things with your friends and, whatnot. But basically, where it came to pitting yourself against authority, that was like totally out. Don't even bother. It's like, the brick wall that you're building up around you is to save yourself. And so there, it's just not a pretty picture. So, and I did have a couple of teachers in high school who helped me and understood. However, overall, the balance has tipped in the favor of introversion regarding confrontation of any kind at all. So, that's really where we're at. And I'm going to start the next series in the next video. I hope you'll continue to join me. What I want you to know from this is I hope you're keeping track and writing down some of the key aspects of different times in your life. Children we all make decisions, and there are key times in our lives when those help to reinforce and set the foundation or turn things away and turn them around. And so it's important, if you really want to unlock a few things that you just haven't been able to quite tap into, that's the thing to do, is to start your own little journal. Follow along with me if you can. There may be some things that ring a bell, and maybe it just doesn't at all, and this isn't your cup of tea. But as I move into my young adulthood and a couple more decisions are made, and I'm using the word decision. A choice is something that is like from inside out, and it has nothing to do with it has everything to do with just what sounds good, what seems good. Why do you choose vanilla over chocolate, or why do you like pistachio? I can say, because I just like it. You don't have to have a reason. It's because you like it. Why do you like that color? I don't know. It just makes me happy when people, see me wearing turquoise, which is my favorite color. In fact, it's a tribal color. So if you wear turquoise, we're probably part of the same tribe. Anyhow, at some level of the soul's expression, it's because it brings you joy and happiness. And when we are in joy and happiness and feeling and expressing ourselves as those things, that is the true self stepping forward, your real beingness. So okay, so that's where we're at. I hope you have your own paper, your own story that you're following along with, that you can find what you think the key element is. And I'm happy if you have that you want to visit with me about your story and what you think the key element. In fact, I may have a class about this at some point. But anyhow, for now, I'm giving you just some of the structure of how to go about doing that, so that you can find out how to access the real being that is within you. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate your presence here. It helps this channel to grow when you like and subscribe and share with others. It's all about the algorithms for that. But the point of that is that I think this is valuable enough information that your soul, your inner aspect of you that has this whole marvelous way of approaching things that has nothing to do with logic. I can tell you, most of my friends can tell you, that I'm about as far from logical as you can get. Well, in some matters of business, it is important, but the rest of the time, there's no rhyme or reason sometimes to what I do, or so it seems. But when you're following that inner guidance system, that's when the magic happens. And that's where we're headed with my stories. Again, I love you so much. I love you. This this much. My arms go all the way around this planet. There isn't anything about Gaia and our earth walk here that shouldn't be absolutely adored and loved. You need to love yourself as much as anybody else could possibly love you. That's where it starts. Until next time, information about me is down below. My website's there, access to how you can reach me via my email. And till I see you again, be well, be safe, be happy, and be yourself.